about various data models that we are going to discuss. So before discussing about data models, let's discuss about the objective of how we are supposed to deal with the data models or what would be the objective of learning the same in the end of the lecture. So we will be able to model the data in the database, and outcome will be we will be dealing with the retrieval of data. That could be very easy and efficient method that could be there. So performance could be high in the end. So before discussing about anything, we are supposed to discuss about data model. What is basically data model? What is basically data model? So as the name implies, data model, model of the data. So what is basically model of the data? Like it could be any abstract model. Abstract model mean to say like conceptual model that is the representation of the system. So it is consist of concepts used to help people know, understand, or simulate a subject the model represents. So it is also the set of concepts. In contrast, physical models are physical objects, like a toy representation that we generally refer to as prototype. So that could organize the elements of data. So what is basically data? Any information, raw data, anything. It could be numeric data collected through observation. In a more technical sense, data are the set of values of qualitative or quantitative variables about one or more persons or objects. With a datum, while a datum is a single value of a single variable. So we are supposed to deal with the term what is basically data model. It could organize the elements of the data and standardize how they relate to one another and to the properties of the real world entities. For instance, a data model may specify that the data element representing a car, it could be composed of a number of other elements which in turn represents the color and size of the car and define its owner. So the term data model can refer to two distinct but closely related concepts. So sometimes it is referred to as an abstract formalization of the object. Just wait. Abstract formalization of the object and relationships found in the particular application domain. For example, like we have discussed a lot about data model. Now database model, sorry. So we are going to discuss about data model because we are in the fifth unit of DBMS subject, and we are just mixing all the concepts that we have discussed in all the previous four units. So data model can refer to two distinct but closely related concepts. So sometimes it refers to an abstract formalization of the objects and relationships that are found in a particular application domain. For example, the customer products and orders that are found in manufacturing organization. At other time, it refers to the set of concepts that are used in defining such formalization. For example, concepts such as entities, attributes, relations, or tables. So the data model of a banking application may be defined using the entity relationship data model. So the article uses the term in both senses. So a data model explicitly determines the structure of the data because it is a model. So these are typically served as data specialist, data librarian, or a digital humanities scholar in data modeling notation. These notations are often represented in graphical form. So a data model can sometimes be referred to as the data structure, especially in the context of programming languages. So data models are often complemented by function models. So what is basically data structure here? Like in computer science, our data structure is data organization, management and storage format that enables efficient access and modification. More precisely, a data structure is the collection of data values, relationships among them, and the function or the operation that can be applied to the data, especially in the context of programming language. Now, what is programming language? It is the formal language that is consist of the set of strings that produce various kinds of machine code output. So these are one kind of computer language and are used in computer programming to implement algorithms. So data models are often complemented by functional models. What is basically function model? So in system engineering, software engineering, and computer science, function model or a functional model, it is a structured representation of the functions within the modeled system or the subject area, especially in the context of organization model. So what is basically organization model? It is the description and definition of the structure, processes, information, and resources of an identifiable business, government body, or other large organization. So have a look at the same. What could be the organization model? Just wait, I am showing it to you. Because we are dealing with models here and we are supposed to deal with the organization model. I am enlarging the picture. Have a look at the same. It could be any organization model. Business model integration, sorry. It is consist of two types like process model and data model that could be combined to the requirement document. So what are the various processes that could be used and what is the pseudocode that could be directed toward the same. In addition, it could be concerned with application prototypes like user view panels and application programming. Next is if we are talking about data model. Data model is basically concerned with data. It could be logical model, it could be physical model, it could be database generation, and that is further concerned with input output data structure. So this is the model of the organization. So in that manner, we are going to discuss about various enterprise modeling, like it is the abstract representation, description, and definition of the structure, processes, information, resources of an identifiable business, government body, or other large organization. So it is the graphical representation of some types of model in enterprise modeling, that is a business model, that illustrate the functions that are associated with our process, that are performance, and organizations that perform these functions. So in software development, often both business process models and data models, they are being developed as the part of the process of creating application programs on the one side and database on the other side. So it deals with the process of understanding an organization and improving its performance through creation and analysis of enterprise models. So this includes the modeling of relevant business domain, like usually relatively stable business processes. So what could be the business processes like? Let me tell you the same and let me show you the same as well. Just wait. What is business processes? Let me show you the same. These are the processes of the business. Now have a look at the same. Have a look at the same. So what is business process modeling here? So it is the example of business process modeling of a process with a normal flow with the business process model and notation. So these are various processes that are getting followed in any business management. So, in business process management or system engineering, it is the activity of representing processes of an enterprise so that the current business processes may be analyzed, improved, and automated. So, BPM, that is business process modeling, is typically performed by business analysts who provide expertise in the modeling discipline by subject matter experts who have specialized knowledge of the processes that are being modeled, or more commonly by a term team comprising both. So alternatively, the process model can be derived directly from event logs using process mining tools. Now, what are basically mining tools? It is the family of technique that is relating the fields of data science and process management to support the analysis of operational processes that are based on event logs. So the goal of process mining is to turn event data into insights and action, and it is the integral part of data science. So the business objective is often to increase process speed or reduce cycle time, to increase the quality, or to reduce costs such as labor, materials, scrap, or capital cost. In practice, a management decision to invest in business process modeling is often motivated by need to document requirements for an information technology project. So what is basically information technology project? It is the use of computers to store or retrieve data and information, and it is typically used within the context of business operations as opposed to personal or entertainment technology. So, it is considered to be the subset of information and communication technology, that is ICT. So change management programs are typically involved. What is change management? It is collective term for all approaches to prepare, support, and help individuals, teams, and organizations in making organizational change. So drivers of change may include the ongoing evolution of the technology. So internal reviews of processes, crisis response, customer demands change that could be related to the same. So these are the programs that are typically involved to put any improved business processes into practice. With advances in software design, the vision of BPM models becoming fully acceptable and capable of simulations and round trip engineering is coming closer to reality. So, this was about business processes, and you can have a look at the same that is given in the diagram. And it could use information technology. So, what is basically information technology that I told you already? It is the use of computers to store or retrieve data and information and within the business domain and its processes. Now, what is the overview behind the same? I can say what is the overview behind the same if I am talking about data models. So, managing large quantities of structured and unstructured data. It is the primary function of information system. So data models describe the structure, manipulation, and integrity aspects of the data that is stored in data management systems such as relational databases. So they typically do not describe unstructured data such as word processing documents, email messages, pictures, digital audio, and video. Now there are various roles of data models. What are the roles of data models that we are going to discuss? Like the main aim of data model is to support the development of information system by providing the definition and format of the data. So according to some authors, if this is done consistently across systems, then compatibility of data can be achieved. So if the same data structures are used to store and access data, then different applications can share the data. So the result of uh, this is already I have shared with you like in the form of pictures, digital audio, videos. So however, systems and interfaces often cost more than they could to build, operate, and maintain. So they also constrain the business rather than support it. A major cause is that the quality of data models implemented in system and interfaces is poor. So there are certain roles that are associated with the same. Just have a look at the same, like business rules specific to how things are done in a particular place are often make fixed in the structure of a data model, and this means that small changes in the way business is conducted lead to large changes in the computer system and interfaces. In addition, entity types are often not identified or incorrectly identified. This can lead to replication of the data, data structure, and functionality, together with the attendant cost of data duplication in development and maintenance. And data models for different systems are arbitrarily different. The result of this is the complex interface data required between systems that share the data. So these interfaces can account for between 25 to 70% of the cost of concurrent current systems. Data cannot be shared electronically with customers and suppliers because of the structure and the meaning of the data has not been standardized. For example, engineering design data and drawings for process plant are still sometimes exchanged on paper. So the reason for this problem is the lack of standards that will ensure that data models will both meet business needs and be consistent. So a data model explicitly determines the structure of the data. Typically, applications of data models include database models, design of the information system, enabling exchange of the data. Usually, data models are specified in the data modeling language. You can have a look at the benefits of data model, how data model deliver benefits. Just wait, I can show it to you. Because model, we are dealing with the structure here. So that is why we are dealing with the diagrams here. I am just enlarging the picture so that you can easily view it. Now just have a look at the same data model that could support system and data. Again, it could support your business. Now your business is concerned with business opportunities, increased effectiveness, responsive to change. In addition, system and data. What is system and data here? That is concerned with system integration, simple interfaces. Next is data. How data is concerned with minimum redundancy of data so that no duplication takes place, and compatible data. Business is concerned with five factors: business opportunity, increased effectiveness, responsive to change, reduced risk, reduced cost. So these are the concerns with the data model. How data model can benefit, how we can benefit it from the data model. So this is the example. So in addition, entity types are often not identified or incorrectly identified. This can lead to replication of data, data structure, and functionality together with the attendant cost of that duplication in development and maintenance. So data models for different systems are arbitrarily different. So the result of this is that complex interfaces are required between system and the that share data. So these interfaces can account for between 25 to 70% of the cost of current systems. And data cannot be shared electronically with customers and suppliers because the structure and the meaning of data has not been standardized. For example, like engineering design data and drawings for process plant are still sometimes exchanged on paper. The reason for this problem is lack of standards that will ensure that data models will both meet business needs and it could be consistent. So data model explicitly determines the structure of the data. So typical applications of data model include database models, design of information system, and enabling exchange of the data. So usually data models are specified in data modeling languages like conceptual data model, logical data model, and physical data model. Just wait, I can show it to you with the help of the diagram. Have a look at the same. conceptual data model, logical data model, physical data model. So what are the same? So this is the three-level architecture that is nowadays used by the company, because previously we used two-tier architecture. Nowadays we are using three-tier architecture. So this shows that a data model can be an external model or a representation model or a conceptual model or a physical model. So this is not the only way to look at the data model, but it is a useful way, particularly when we are comparing models. So what is there in physical model? It could describe the physical means by which the data are stored, like it is concerned with schemas, how we are supposed to define the table spaces, how we are supposed to deal with the partitioning of the CPUs, how we are supposed to deal with uh, defining the structure of the tables. Next is logical data model. So it could, like logical data model could describe the semantics, as the name implies logical. So it could describe the semantics like represented by a particular data manipulation technology. This consists of description of tables, columns, object-oriented classes, XML tags, among other things. Next is conceptual data model. The main model, I can say. It describes the semantics of the domain being the scope of the model. For example, it may be a model of the interest area of an organization or industry, and it consists of the entity class representing kinds of things of significance in the domain, and relationship assertion about association between pairs of entity classes. A conceptual schema specifies the kind of fact or proposition that can be expressed using the model. In this sense, it defines the allowed expressions in an artificial language with a scope that is limited by the scope of the model. So the significance of what is the significance of this model? According to ANSI standards, it is allowed that the three perspectives to be relatively independent of each other. Storage technology can change without affecting either the logical or the conceptual model. The table column structure can change without necessarily affecting the conceptual model. So in each case, of course, the structure must remain consistent with the other model. So the table column structure may be different from the direct translation of the entity classes and attributes, but it must ultimately carry out the objective of the conceptual entity class structure. Like early phases of many software development projects emphasize the design of conceptual data model. Such a design can be detailed into a logical data model. In later stages, this model may be translated into physical data model. However, it is also possible to implement a conceptual model directly. So, what is basically data model that we are dealing here? It gives us an idea how the final system will look like after its complete implementation. It defines the data elements and their relationship between the data elements. Data models are used to show how data is stored, connected, accessed, and updated in the database management system. So we can use set of symbols and text to represent the information so that members of the organization can communicate and understand it. Like we have used various ER diagrams. We have studied about ER diagrams in the previous classes. So we are dealing with various notations, various symbols. So though there are many data models that are being used nowadays, but the relational model, it is the most widely used model. Apart from the relational model, there are many other types of data model, like data are available, like hierarchical model, network model, entity just let me show you the same. Just wait. Let me show you the same. What are various types of model that are available nowadays? In addition, there are many more models that are also available. You can have a look at the same. So hierarchical model, network model, entity relationship model, relational model, object-oriented data model, object relational data model, flat data model, semi-structured data model, associative data model, context data model. So these are all the data models that have been there. So let's discuss one by one each and every model. So if we are talking about hierarchical model, what is basically hierarchical model? Just wait, let me show you the same. Hierarchical model is concerned with centralization. We are supposed to follow the hierarchy. We are supposed to follow the hierarchy. So what is basically hierarchy here? You can have a look at the layman example. Shoes. If we are talking about shoes, it could be women's shoes or it could be men's shoes. It could be further classified high heels or bellies. It could be further classified as sport shoes or sneakers. So this is the hierarchy that we are supposed to maintain. So what is basically hierarchical model? So it is the first model in DBMS. Like it could organize the data in the hierarchical tree structure. So the hierarchy starts from the root, which has root data, and then it expands in the form of a tree, adding child node to the parent node. So this model easily represent some of the real world relationships like food recipes, site map of website, etc. We can represent the relationship between shoes present on a shopping website in the following way. Like you can have a look at the example of the hierarchical model. Now, what are the various features of hierarchical model? What are the various features? It could be having one-to-many relationship, one-to-many. So the data here is organized in a tree-like structure where the one-to-many relationship is between the data types. Also, there can be only one path from parent to any node. Example, like if we want to go to the node sneaker, then we only have one path to reach there, that is through men's shoes node. Next is parent-child relationship. Each child node has a parent node, but a parent node can have more than one child node, and multiple parents are not allowed. Next is deletion problem. If a parent node is deleted, then the child node is automatically deleted. Next is pointers. Pointers are used to link the parent node with the child node and are used to navigate between the data stored. For example, like shoes node points to the two other nodes, women's shoes and men's shoes node. So this is the pointer that we are going to use. Next is what are the advantages of hierarchical model? Like it is very simple and fast to traverse through a tree-like structure. And any changes in the parent node is automatically reflected in the child node, so the integrity of the data is maintained. Next is what are the disadvantages? If we are talking about disadvantages, like complex relationships are not supported because it does not support more than one parent of the child. So if we have some complex relationship where a child node needs to have two parent nodes, then that can't be represented using this model. If a parent node is deleted, then the child node is automatically deleted. That is network model. Network model is an extension of the hierarchical model. It was the most popular model before the relational model. So this model is the same as the hierarchical model. The only difference is that a record can have more than one parent. So it replaces the hierarchical tree with a graph. For example, like I can show you an example. Just read. This is the network model. This child is having two parents. Student is having CSE department, student is having library. So now student has two parents, that is CSE department and library. So this was earlier not possible in hierarchical model. So what are the features of the network model? like ability to merge more relationships. So in this model, as there are more relationships, so data is more related. So this model has the ability to manage one-to-one relationship as well as many-to-many relationships. Many paths, as there are more relationships, so there can be more than one path to the same record. So this makes data access fast and simple. In addition, we are dealing with circular linked list. So what is basically circular linked list? The operations on the network model are done with the help of the circular linked list. So the current position is maintained with the help of a program, and this position navigates through the records according to the relationship. So there are certain advantages that are associated with network model, and there are certain disadvantages. So what are basically advantages? Like the data can be accessed faster as compared to the hierarchical model, and because the data is more related in the network model and there can be more than one path to reach a particular node, so the data can be accessed in many ways. But as there is a parent-child relationship, so data integrity is present. Any change in parent record is reflected in the child record. Disadvantages could be as more and more relationships need to be handled, the system might get complex. So a user must be having detailed knowledge of the model to work with the model. Any change like updation, deletion, insertion is very complex. Next is entity relationship model. As we have already discussed a lot about entity relationship model, ER diagram. So I don't think there is a need to describe the same. Just I am giving you the overview about the same. Entity relationship model or simply ER model. It is the high level data model diagram. We represent the real world problem in the pictorial form to make it easy for the stakeholders to understand. So it is very easy for the developers to understand the system by looking at the ER diagram. And we use the ER diagram as a visual tool to represent an ER model. So it is consist of various basically three components: entity, attributes, and relationships. So it is entity could be a real world thing, it could be person, place, concept, like teacher, student, course, building, department, some of the entities of the school management system. Next is attribute. Entity contain a real world property called attribute. This is the characteristics of that attribute. For example, the entity teacher has the property like teacher ID, salary, age. Next is relationship. Relationship tell how two attributes are related. Like teacher works for a department. You can have a look at the diagram of the entity relationship. Teacher works for a particular department. Teacher is having teacher name, teacher ID, mobile number, age, salary. So these are all the attributes that are defining the teacher. It works for it is a relationship between teacher and the department. Department ID is there, department name is there. That are the attributes of the department. So this is the ER model for the relationship that shows the relationship between teacher and the department for which he works. So the entities are teacher and department. The attributes teacher entity are teacher name, teacher ID, age, salary, mobile number, and the attribute of entity department entity are department ID, department name. So the two entities are connected using the relationship. So each teacher works for a department. So what would be the features of the ER model? What would be the features of the ER model? There are various features that are associated with the same, like graphical representation for better understanding. It is very simple and easy to understand so that it can be used by the developers to communicate with stakeholders. ER diagram, visual tool, database design, advantages, simple, effective communication tool, easy conversation to any model. Disadvantages could be no industry standard for notation and information. Next is we are dealing with relational model. So we have discussed a lot about relational model as well, like it is most widely used model. And in this model, the data is maintained in the form of two-dimensional table, that is rows and column, and all the information is stored in the form of row and column. So the basic structure of relational model is tables. So the tables are called relations, and in the relational model. So we can have an employee table. Just have a look at the same. So this is the table of the employee in which we have stored information about employee. It is stored in the 2D table, like rows and columns are there, in which there are certain attributes that are satisfying the employee table. It is consist of employee ID, employee name, job name, salary, mobile number, department ID, project ID. So in addition, we have filled the entries with data that is available to us, like employee ID is 001, 002, 003, and employee name ABC or John Adam, and job name engineer analyst, and in addition what is that, like manager. Salary is 10,000, 5,000, and 8,900. Mobile number are given, department ID is given, project ID is given. So this is the way how we are supposed to store relational table. So there are various features of relational table. Feature is tuple and attribute. Tuple, like each row in the table is called tuple, and it could contain all the information about any instance of the object. In the above example, like each row has all the information about any specific individual, like the first row has information about John. Attribute or field, these are the properties which define the table or relation. So the values of the attribute should be from the same domain. In the above example, like we have different attributes of the employee, like salary, mobile number. Next is what are the advantages of relational models? Simple, scalable, structure independence. Disadvantages: hardware overheads and bad design. Next is object oriented model. So what is basically object oriented model? Have a look at the same. So what is basically object oriented model? We know about object oriented model in real sense because we are dealing with the field of computer science, and we have discussed object oriented things in OOP subject, I think in first semester. So the real world problems are more closely represented through the object oriented data model, and in this model both the data and relationships are present in a single structure known as object. We can store audio, video, images in the database, which was not possible in relational model. Although you can store audio and video in relational database, so it is advised not to store in the relational database. In this model, two are major more objects that are concerned through links. Like we use this link to relate one model to or one object to other object. So this can be understood by the pictorial representation, like employee and department. Employee is having various attributes, department is having various attributes. So the attributes of employee could be related to the attributes of department. In addition, we have used various methods like get hired, change number, or change department. So we have two objects, that is employee and department. So all the data and relationship of each objects are contained as a single unit. So the attributes like name, job title of the employee, and the method with which will be performed by that object are stored as a single object. So the two objects are connected through a common attribute, that is department ID, and communication between these two will be done with the help of this common ID. Next is object relational model. It is a theoretical model, like name suggests it is the combination of both relational model and object oriented model. So this model was built to fill the gap between object-oriented model and the relational model. And we can have many advanced features, like we can make complex data types according to our requirement using the existing data types. But the problem with this model is that this can get complex and difficult to handle, so the proper understanding of the model is required. Next is flat data model. So it is the simple model in which the database is represented as a table of consisting of rows and columns. To access any data, the computer has to read the entire table. This makes the mode slow and inefficient. Next is semi-structured model. So semi-structured model is an evolved form of relational model. We cannot differentiate between data and schema in this model. For example, like web-based data sources, which we can't differentiate between the schema and data of the website. So in this model, some entities may have missing attributes while others may have an extra attribute. So this model gives flexibility in storing the data, and it also gives flexibility to attributes. Example is like if we are storing any value in any attribute, then that value can be either atomic value or collection of values. Next is associative data model. What is basically associative data model? Like model in which the data is divided into two parts, like item and links. That is everything which has independent existence called entity, and the relationship among these entities are called association. So the data is divided into two parts, like items and links. Association, as the name implies, linking. Item could be the name, the identifier, or the numeric value. Link could be link contain the identifier, source, verb, and object, subject. Let's say we have a statement: the World Cup is being hosted by London from May 30, 2020. So in this data, two links needed to be stored. The World Cup is being hosted by London. The source here is the World Cup. The verb is being, and the target is London. From 30 May 2020, the source here is previous link, the verb is from, and the target is 30 May 2020. So it could be represented with the help of the model. Just I am showing it to you, just wait. This is the associative model. It is converted into two parts, items and links. This is the item table and this is the link table, and we can associate both the tables with the help of one common attribute, that is identified. So this could be the base for the association. Next and last model is context data model. So what is basically context data model? It is the collection of several models, as the name implies. So it would consist of the models like network model, relational model, and using this model we can do various types of tasks that are not possible using any model alone. So this is all about the various data models of DBMS. If you are having any query regarding same, you can ask me any question. Because we have discussed various models, you can have a look at the same: hierarchical model, network model, entity relationship model, relational model, object oriented data model, object relational data model, flat data model, semi structured data model, associative data model, context data model. So these are all the models that have been discussed in addition to the data model. So this was all about your today's class. If you are having any query regarding same, you can ask me any question. Just go through all the slides that have been discussed so far. We have discussed about data models. We started with business model. What is the business model? Then this is the processes that are being followed in the business. This is how the organization could benefit by following data model. Next, the physical level model, like three-tier architecture for the models. Next, there are 10 models that have been discussed. First one is hierarchical model, network model, entity relationship model, employee table, in which we have used relational table or relational model. Last is object-oriented model and association model. So this was all about my today's class. If you are having any query, then you can ask me any question. Reference book is given. It is a book by Court. It is available in the college library. You can get it issued from the library and have a look at the same. In addition, there are 10 MCQs that have been given here. You are supposed to submit me the answers at the end of the class. Each question is having 4 choices and you are supposed to take any one answer. So this was all about my today's class. Thank you. Have a nice day.